Being a teenager is hard. With their free summit, Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center is hoping to make managing your teen's mental health easier, and they're getting help from teens themselves.
Grace Bradley takes us to Bangor to hear more about their Youth Mental Health Summit.
Being able to take power in their own mental health experience, but that it also might help and inspire somebody else who's struggling.
That's the aim of the second annual Youth Mental Health Summit, hosted by Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center at Husson's Gracie Theater next month.
It was a combination of the medical center wanting to find a way to work towards supporting our youth and our teens, especially for the mental health crisis that we're seeing in Maine. We're seeing scary numbers on the rise of suicide rates and suicide consideration amongst our teens. So it has become one of our priority areas in our community health initiatives.
I think a lot of what I see is people just struggling to fit in, struggling to find their place. There's also a lot of struggle with, getting into college, performing well in school and in sports and other activities, finding the right group of people. So I think there's a lot of anxiety.
That's high school senior Zoe Castrucci, who helped to organize the first Youth Mental Health Summit as part of her summer volunteer project at the hospital.
It started off actually trying to help revamp the youth psychiatric ED, and it turned into this mental health summit where we wanted to give kids an opportunity to advocate for their peers, to identify mental health struggles, and to come up with tools to help kids stay out of the emergency department in the first place.
Through in-depth discussions and hands-on activities, topics like bullying, substance abuse, and eating disorders are tackled with accessible resources available.
And we want our families and our kids to know that we care about them and they're not alone, that this is not something that they should be embarrassed about or ashamed about. We all have our own mental health journey, whatever that might look like to us, and none of us are alone.
Like, you can't go to your doctor every day to talk to them about these struggles, but when you see a teen right next to you who understands what you're going through, that's really empowering, because you can start that conversation and kind of work through it together.
Grace Bradley, WABI News, Bangor.
For more information on the Youth Mental Health Summit, including registration, you can visit northernlighthealth.org/YMHS25.